Welcome back to her Fireside Stories, the place where we gather to share powerful, heartfelt tales by our warm virtual fireside 7 years. That's how long I raised our daughter alone after the man I once trusted most walked away without looking back. I stopped waiting for apologies long ago, but this Mother's Day, Daniel showed up at my door eyes full of regret. Letter in hand, only this time I wasn't the fragile woman he left behind. And if he wants back into our lives, he'll have to face the truth, not just mine, but the one our daughter carries too. Growing up, I never imagined that I'd spend my 40th Mother's Day alone. I used to picture a bright future with a husband who adored me, a house full of laughter and children clambering to give me homemade cards. But life rarely unfolds exactly how we plan. My name is Rebecca Allen, and for the past 7 years, I have raised my daughter Lily almost entirely on my own. She's 11 now. Smart, sweet, a little shy around strangers, but overflowing with curiosity about the world. She's the center of my life, and that's a good thing because for the longest time, she was the only steady part of it. I was 22 when I met Daniel, Lily's father. He was a charmer with an easy smile and deep brown eyes that made me believe in romance again after a string of heartbreaks. We married quickly, brimming with optimism. But soon cracks began to appear his late nights out with friends, the secretive phone calls, the unexplained charges on our joint bank account. I tried to stay strong, thinking we could fix what was broken. By the time Lily was 4, though it was clear Daniel was unfaithful, emotionally distant, and I discovered financially reckless, I confronted him and the fight that ensued was fierce. He left that same night flinging cruel words behind him as he slammed the door. A week later, I learned that not only had he left me, he'd racked up debts in my name, draining our savings entirely. Our marriage was over, and so was my trust. That was 7 years ago. In the aftermath, I rented a small apartment in Glendale, near the elementary school I wanted Lily to attend. We survived on my job at a local insurance office. I learned how to budget every penny, how to be both mother and father to Lily, how to bury the bitterness that threatened to spill over whenever I remembered Daniel's betrayal. The first few years were painfully lonely, but I kept going for Lily's sake. Now I stand in the doorway of my modest living room, glancing at the few decorations Lily and I put up for Mother's Day, some paper hearts taped to the wall, a small banner reading Happy Mom's Day that Lily insisted on. She's still fast asleep. It's barely 7 in the morning. I, however, can't shake the old restlessness that creeps in every year around this holiday. For a long time, I used to blame myself. Was I not enough to keep Daniel around? Then I'd switch to anger. How dare he walk away from us? Time softened the edges of these feelings, but they still prick at me occasionally, especially on days like today. Normally, my Mother's Day routine is simple. I let Lily make me breakfast, which ends up with a messy kitchen, but a proud grin on her face. We watch a movie, maybe visit the local park. No big gatherings or fancy dinners. I prefer it that way. Less chance to be reminded of the family I lost. I head to the kitchen to start coffee, determined to keep my usual composure. The aroma of fresh brew calms me. I glance at the fridge pictures of Lily at soccer practice, her report cards dotted with little stars, a scribbled drawing of the two of us under a rainbow. All these small tokens represent the love I do have, and it's enough, or at least I want it to be enough. Today, though, a strange cloud of unease hovers in my chest. I brush it off as holiday jitters. After all, Lily will be bounding in soon to give me her special surprise. She's been whispering and giggling about it all week, refusing to let me peek in her school backpack. I can't help but smile at the thought, no matter how bleak or lonely some days feel. Lily's unwavering affection has been my guiding light. Sure enough, not long after I finish my first cup of coffee, I hear the sound of small feet pattering down the hallway. Lily enters the kitchen in her mismatched pajamas, hair tousled from sleep. She clutches a wrapped cardboard rectangle with a pink ribbon that's half unraveling Happy Mother's Day. Mom, she announces, beaming. I pretend to be shocked, placing a hand to my mouth. Is that for me? She nods eagerly, pushing it toward me. Open it. I tug at the ribbon and peel away the wrapping paper, revealing a colorful painting. He's done abstract shapes in bright oranges and yellows with tiny hearts. Scrawled in the corner are the words, "To the best mom ever." My throat constricts, tears gathering at the corners of my eyes. Lily, this is beautiful, I whisper, pulling her into a hug. She giggles, wrapping her skinny arms around my waist. She glances at me with big, curious eyes. Mom, are you okay? Why are you crying? I sniffle, forcing a wobbly smile. I'm just happy. Thank you, sweetheart. I love it. And I love you. We share breakfast toast with jam scrambled eggs, and she chatters about how she made the painting during art class, carefully keeping it hidden until this morning. For a few moments, I feel genuinely content. A quiet, joyful moment. The rest of the world can fade away for all I care. But all too soon, reality intrudes. My phone vibrates on the table, showing a number I don't recognize. Frowning, I pick it up. Usually, I'd let an unknown call go to voicemail, but something compels me to answer. Hello, I say, voice tentative. There's a pause, then a breath. A man's voice, low and careful. Hey, Rebecca. It's Daniel. My stomach drops as though I'm on a roller coaster that's just begun its sudden descent. Daniel, my ex-husband, Lily's father, the man who vanished without a backward glance or an apology, calling now, on Mother's Day of all times. My free hand clutches the table. What do you want? I whisper, struggling to keep my voice steady. He exhales. I know this is out of the blue, but can we talk? There are things I need to say to you. My heart races, a war of emotions swirling in my chest. Anger, fear, curiosity, and yes, a twist of longing for closure. Why now? Why after all these years? I'm not sure there's anything left to say. I manage. Lily glances up at me, worry flickering in her brown eyes. Daniel's voice cracks with something that sounds like regret. Rebecca, please, I know I messed up, but give me a chance to explain, or at least to apologize. It's Mother's Day, and I just please. For a moment, I'm speechless, the nerve of him to appear now after so long. Yet a small part of me wonders if this is the day I finally get answers, or at least the apology I once craved so desperately. Could it lead to peace or just more pain? With trembling resolve, I say, fine, but I'm not making any promises. Then I hang up, my thoughts spiraling. Lily tugs my sleeve, sensing my tension. Mom, who was that? She asks, her voice quiet. I swallow. Just someone from the past, I say gently. But don't worry, sweetheart. Everything's okay. But is it? My pulse thrums in my ears. Daniel wants to apologize on Mother's Day, and for the first time in years, I have no clue how to feel. I stand at the sink, absently rinsing the breakfast dishes, replaying Daniel's words in my mind. Give me a chance to explain, or at least to apologize. The apology I once cried for night after night might be within reach, but now that it's come, it feels like a stranger knocking on a door I'd sealed shut. Lily sits at the kitchen table, scribbling in her little notebook. She's sensitive enough to sense the undercurrent of my mood, but she doesn't push. A part of me aches, wishing I could shield her forever from the complicated reality of her father's actions. But she's old enough to ask questions soon, if not already. I finish with the dishes and move to the living room, Lily trailing behind me. My phone sits on the coffee table as if mocking me. Should I call Daniel back, meet him, let him speak? Or do I preserve the fragile peace Lily and I have built? Suddenly, Lily's voice pipes up. Mom, can we go to the park today? The weather's nice. Grateful for the distraction. I smile. Sure, let me throw on some nicer clothes, and we'll head out. Half an hour later, we're strolling down the quiet suburban street toward the local park. The sun warms our faces, and Lily chatters about her new science project. Something about planting seeds and recording their growth. I listen nodding at appropriate intervals, though Daniel's phone call is a ghost hovering at the edges of my thoughts. At the park, Lily dashes off to the swings while I take a seat on a wooden bench. Other families dot the grassy field, parents pushing strollers, grandparents feeding ducks, couples walking hand in hand. It's a peaceful tableau, yet my mind refuses to settle. I watch Lily pump her legs on the swing, hair flying back, a wide grin on her face. She's grown so quickly. In another blink, she'll be a teenager, then an adult. And what will I tell her about her father when she's older? That he simply vanished one day, leaving us with heartbreak and debts, that he never reached out until apparently today. My phone vibrates in my pocket, jarring me from my musings. I fish it out to see the same unknown number. Daniel heart thudding, I hit. Ignore. Not here, not now, not in front of Lily. But the call plants a seed of urgency in me. If Daniel is so insistent, perhaps it's better to get it over with. Let him say whatever he needs to say so I can decide how to move forward. The alternative is living with a knot of anxiety in my stomach, always wondering if he'll call again. Mom? Lily calls from the swings, waving for me to come push her. Mais her, I tuck the phone away, offering a wave back. Focus on the present moment, I tell myself. For the next hour, I devote my attention to Lily pushing her on the swings, helping her climb the monkey bars, racing her across the grass. Our laughter mingles with the chatter of other families. For a while, I almost forget about the phone call, lost in the simple joy of spending time with my daughter. Eventually, we walk home, cheeks flushed from exercise. Lily begs for an ice cream treat. I rummage in the freezer, producing 2 popsicles, cherry for her, lime for me. We settle on the living room couch, enjoying the sweet chill. She rests her head on my shoulder. Thanks for today, Mom, she murmurs. Best Mother's Day ever. My heart swells a tender ache. Thank you, sweetheart. You make every day special. We watch some cartoons, Lily giggling at the antics on screen. But as evening approaches, she drifts off to her room to read. Leaving me alone with my thoughts, I retrieve my phone from the kitchen counter. No new calls, but a text message. Rebecca, please, I'm in town for a few days. I'd like to meet you, even if just for an hour, Daniel. A swirl of conflicting emotions churns inside me. He's in town. Does he expect me to drop everything and run to him? But a tiny voice inside suggests, maybe I should. Not for his sake, but for my own clarity. I'm tired of living with the echoes of our painful past. If he truly wants to apologize, maybe it can help me move on, help me be an even better mother to Lily. Free from old resentments, I glance at Lily's closed bedroom door. She's had a wonderful day, and I don't want to ruin it by bringing up her father's sudden reappearance. In bed tonight, though, I'll think it through. Maybe tomorrow I'll decide. For now, I type a short reply. I'm not sure I'll let you know. Then I silence my phone, slip it into a drawer, and focus on making dinner for Lily and me, a simple spaghetti meal with some leftover salad. We eat companionably, discussing her science project in more detail. She's thrilled about planting bean seeds in small cups, tracking how each one grows. Her excitement is contagious, momentarily lifting my mood. But once Lily's tucked in asleep under her cozy pink quilt, the house quiets. I find myself alone in the living room, memories of Daniel swirling in my mind. I recall the early days of our marriage, how he'd bring me wildflowers, how he'd dance with me in the kitchen to no music at all. Then I remember the cold accusations, his rage, when I confronted him about the suspicious charges the day he walked away without a shred of remorse. Could he have changed? Does an apology mean anything after he shattered my trust so completely? My fingers tremble as I flip through old photos in a shoebox. Lily as a toddler, Daniel carrying her on his shoulders, my own smiling face, naive to what lay ahead. We were happy once, or so I believed. Perhaps I owe myself the chance to hear him out, if only to confirm that I've grown beyond the woman I was, the woman who once begged him to stay, who blamed herself for his failings, because I'm not that woman anymore. Am I? Sighing. I close the shoebox. Tomorrow I'll decide whether to meet him. If I do, it'll be on my terms. If Daniel truly wants to apologize, let him face the reality that I'm no longer the wounded wife he left behind. I've built a life for Lily and me, a life that doesn't revolve around him. And no matter what happens, I refuse to let him dismantle our hard-earned peace. Morning dawns with a cool breeze drifting through my bedroom window. I sit on the edge of the bed, phone in hand, scrolling through Daniel's messages. I'm in town for a few days. I'd like to meet you. Please let me explain. Last night I couldn't settle my thoughts. Part of me wanted to ignore him completely. After all, if he truly cared about Lily and me, he wouldn't have abandoned us. But another part insists I need closure, that hearing him might finally release me from the old pain. I decide to text him back. Okay, let's meet at the Riverside Cafe at 2 p.m. That's all the time I can spare. My heart pounds as I hit send. Almost instantly, his reply pings. Thank you, I'll be there. I exhale, setting my phone aside. A swirl of anxiety and anticipation courses through me. This is it. I'm going to see Daniel after 7 years. I shut my eyes, willing my racing heart to calm. Lily's voice floats from the hallway. She's awake, rummaging for breakfast. Pushing the tension aside, I slip into mom mode, determined to keep the day normal for her sake. We go through our morning routine: cereal and orange juice for her coffee, and toast for me. She's busy talking about how she wants to start a mini herb garden for her science project. I promise to buy some pots and seeds after work. Her excitement warms me, giving me a moment of joy before I step into the emotional minefield this afternoon. By 1:30, Lily's at a friend's house for a play date, which means I have no convenient excuse to avoid the meeting. I arrive at Riverside Cafe a little early. It's a cozy spot overlooking the water with rustic wooden tables and a chalkboard menu listing pastries and artisanal coffees. I haven't been here in ages, and the familiarity makes my stomach twist. I order an iced tea and sit by the window. My reflection in the glass reveals a woman who looks composed but tense, shoulders squared, eyes scanning the street outside. Then I see him. Daniel steps onto the sidewalk, glances around, spots me through the window. My heart seems to stop for a second. He enters, pausing by the door as if uncertain. The last time I saw him, he wore anger like an armor. Now he seems subdued. Older lines crease his forehead, and his hair has strands of gray. He offers me a tentative smile, and for a moment, a memory of the man I once loved flickers to life. I gesture for him to sit. He does awkwardly, folding his long frame into the seat across from me. Hey, he says quietly. I nod, not trusting my voice. The silence stretches thick with unspoken history. Finally, I clear my throat. You wanted to talk. Daniel sighs, running a hand through his hair. I do. He glances around, notices the sign above the counter. You look well, Rebecca. It's good to see you. I sip my iced tea, not responding to that. Instead, I lean forward, forcing calm. You said you had something to say. So say it. He flinches slightly, then straightens. I'm sorry, he murmurs, voice thick. For everything, for leaving, for hurting you, for what I did with the money. I was a mess back then, immature, chasing thrills, making reckless choices. His gaze drops to his folded hands. I know it's been years, but I couldn't forgive myself without at least trying to make amends. Anger rises in me, though tempered by the sorrow etched on his face. Why now, I ask, keeping my tone quiet. 7 years? Daniel, Lily, and I went through so much alone. His eyes flicker with guilt. I know I'm not proud of it. After I left, things spiraled. I was in and out of trouble, bad debts, bad relationships. But I've been in a program these past 2 years, working to get my life straight. Part of that is making amends to those I hurt. He exhales shakily. I know an apology might mean nothing to you now, but I had to try. I swallow, heart pounding. So this is some redemption arc for him, spurred by a program or therapy. You broke us, Daniel. I whisper, voice trembling. You broke our marriage, our finances. Lily's chance at a normal childhood. His eyes shine with unshed tears. I know, and I'm sorry. I wish I could fix it all. I wish. He stops blinking. How? How is Lily? Does she hate me? A wave of protectiveness surges. Lily hardly knows you, Daniel. You left when she was 4. She might remember glimpses, but I hesitate. Should I tell him? Lily often asks if her dad ever loved her, that she used to cry on Father's Day in kindergarten. My throat tightens. She doesn't hate you. She's just grown up without you. He flinches. I want to meet her, he says softly, if that's even possible. My chest tightens. And do what, vanish again after a few days? She's not a toy you can pick up when convenient. My voice grows sharper than I intended. Daniel nods, looking pained. I get it. I don't deserve her forgiveness or yours. I'm just hoping for a chance to show I'm different now. A complicated silence falls between us. The cafe bustles around us, but it feels like we're in a vacuum of old wounds. Part of me wants to storm out to slam the door on this painful chapter. Another part sees a man who might truly regret what he did. A man trying to atone. You said you wanted to make amends. I manage at last. An apology is a start, but Lily's well-being comes first. I won't let you waltz in, confuse her and disappear. I meet his gaze, unwavering. If you want any relationship with her, you'll have to prove to me you won't bolt again. He nods earnestly. I will. Whatever it takes. I stand clutching my purse. My emotions swirl. Anger, sadness, a fragile hope that maybe this time I won't be the same naive girl who believed his lies. We'll see. I say, voice clipped. Give me time to think about it. You can text me your number. Daniel stands too, shoulders slumped. Thank you, Rebecca, and Happy Mother's Day. By the way, I freeze momentarily, then turn and walk out, heart hammering. Happy Mother's Day indeed, but as I step into the bright afternoon sun, one thing is clear. I'm not the same woman he left behind. Whether he's changed or not, I have. I hurry away from the cafe, the late spring sun beaming overhead, intensifying my turbulent thoughts. Daniel's voice echoes in my head. I'm sorry I was a mess, but the ache in my chest won't disappear so easily. 7 years of resentment don't evaporate with a single apology. I pick up Lily from her friend's house. She's bounding with energy, excitedly telling me they baked cookies shaped like animals. We made a giraffe, a hippo, a turtle. She giggles. Driving home, I force a smile, nodding along. I want to protect her from the emotional storm raging in me. She deserves her carefree joy, unhindered by the complicated reappearance of the father she barely remembers. That night after Lily's bedtime routine stories, a warm hug lights out. I slip into the living room to gather my thoughts. My phone buzzes a text from Daniel. Thank you for hearing me out. Here's my number. I'd really like a chance to see Lily, but I'll wait for your decision. I toss the phone onto the couch, frustration knotting my chest. He wants to see Lily, but does she want to see him? And do I dare let him disrupt the relative peace we've carved out? My mind flickers through every scenario. If he meets her, what if he disappears again? If he's sincere, would Lily thrive with a father figure? At last, exhausted, I brew chamomile tea, hoping it'll calm my restless nerves. As steam curls around the mug, I stare at the photograph on the mantel. Lily as a toddler in my arms, me beaming at the camera. No Daniel in that picture, of course. He'd already begun drifting by then, working late, which I later discovered was code for partying or seeing someone else. Eventually, I slip into bed, but sleep is a distant hope. Memories swirl Daniel's charming laughter back when we were newlyweds, the heartbreak of discovering his betrayal the day I realized I was left with no money, a staggering load of his debts, and a child to care for. The anger that once fueled me has dulled, replaced by a guarded caution. He says he's changed. Do I believe him? Work the next day is a blur. I'm an insurance claims adjuster, which normally requires meticulous focus, but I catch myself rereading the same policy documents multiple times, thoughts drifting to Daniel's reappearance. My boss notices my distraction but kindly refrains from prying. By evening, Lily and I go grocery shopping. She chatters about wanting to learn how to cook real meals, not just microwave dinners or scrambled eggs. I smile, promising to teach her a simple recipe, soon pasta with homemade tomato sauce, perhaps. As we turn into the produce aisle, my phone pings again. I glance at it, another text from Daniel. I ignore it for now, focusing on Lily. She's holding up a cucumber, asking if we can make a salad. Back home, we settle into the kitchen, unpacking groceries, and Lily helps me chop vegetables for a quick salad. She's careful, her brow creased in concentration as she slices cucumber rounds. I show her how to add salt, pepper, a little olive oil, and vinegar. She squeals in delight when she tastes the final product. That's tangy. And I laugh, the moment brightening my mood. After dinner, Lily scampers off to her room to work on homework. I tidy up in the kitchen, my phone buzzing once more on the counter. Sighing, I read Daniel's newest text. Rebecca, I'm not trying to push, but if there's any way I can see you and Lily together, please let me know. I have a small gift for her. I'm here until Friday. My stomach tightens. A gift. I recall the gifts he once promised Lily for birthdays, only to vanish on the actual day. Could this be a sign of sincerity or a guilt-driven bribe? Closing my eyes, I take a deep breath. The question weighs heavily. Is it worth letting him meet Lily? I slip into Lily's room, gently knocking. She's perched on her bed, scribbling math problems. She looks up with a smile. Hey, Mom. Need something? My heart twists. If only life were simple. Lily, can I talk to you? I ask, sitting on the edge of her bed. She puts down her pencil. What's up? She asks. I hesitate, choosing my words carefully. Do you remember your dad much? You were very young when he left. She frowns, chewing her lip. Kinda. Mostly, I remember him giving me piggyback rides. I was 4, right? She shrugs. Why? My pulse thrums. He might be in town. He wants to see us. Her eyes widen. Really? She pauses, searching my face. You said he left because he didn't want to be with us anymore, something like that. He wasn't ready for responsibility, I say gently. But he says he's changed. Lily hugs her knees. Do I have to see him? No, I say quickly, heart aching for her. Not unless you want to, I told him. I'd think about it. She looks down. I'm not sure, Mom. I mean, is he gonna leave again? I don't want to get my hopes up. Tears prick my eyes. I don't know, sweetheart, but I'd be with you every step. If he tries anything hurtful, I'll protect you. Her small arms wrap around me. Okay, Mom, maybe we can meet him just to see what he says. I hold her close, a surge of pride at her bravery and sadness at her caution. She's 11 yet. She's learned too young that people can fail you. We'll do it on our terms, I whisper. He has to show he's genuine. Lily nods, then draws away to wipe her eyes. Thanks, Mom. Later that night, I text Daniel Lily, and I will meet you tomorrow at Branton Park, 4 p.m., just for a short visit. His response is immediate. Thank you, I promise I won't disappoint you. I stare at those words, cynicism nibbling at the edges of my mind. He's disappointed us before, But maybe this time I'm strong enough to face whatever he brings. After all, I'm not the same broken woman he left behind. Lily and I are a team now, and no apology can undo the past. Yet perhaps it can lighten the burden we've carried for far too long. Branton Park on a Wednesday afternoon is quiet. The usual weekend throngs absent. Lily and I arrive a few minutes early, strolling past the duck pond and the neatly trimmed hedges. She looks nervous, clutching my hand tighter than usual. I give her a reassuring squeeze. "I'll be right here, okay?" I say softly. She nods, biting her lip. I can't help but remember how just a few days ago life seemed so ordinary. Now everything feels charged with tension. We settle on a wooden bench beneath a maple tree near the playground where a few toddlers toddle about. Lily fiddles with the hem of her t-shirt, glancing around. "I wonder if he'll even come," she murmurs. I open my mouth to reply, but suddenly Daniel steps into view, heading toward us. He's dressed simply in jeans and a button-down shirt, carrying a small gift bag. My heart pounds as I watch him approach. For a moment, he looks uncertain, even scared. Then his gaze lands on Lily and his eyes soften. "Hi," he says, voice low. I'm glad you're here." Lily nods, lips pressed together. "Mom said we could meet," she says quietly. Daniel offers a tentative smile. "You've grown so much," he says, addressing Lily. "Last time I saw you, you were just a little kid." She shifts uncomfortably. "I'm still a kid, kinda," she mutters. A flicker of sadness crosses Daniel's face. "Right, of course." He holds out the gift bag. "I got you something. It's not much, but—" Lily hesitates, glancing at me. I shrug slightly. It's her choice. She takes the bag, peeks inside, and pulls out a small plush dog wearing a pink collar. Lily strokes its fluffy ears. "Thank you," she says, voice neutral. She sets it aside. Silence settles. I clear my throat, deciding to steer the conversation. "So, Daniel, you wanted to make amends." "Here we are." He nods, swallowing hard. "Yes, Lily, I'm sorry I haven't been around. I was in a bad place making terrible decisions. I hurt your mom a lot, and I hurt you even if you don't remember all of it." Lily stares at her sneakers. "Why'd you leave?" she blurts. "Was it me? Did I do something wrong?" Pain lances through me, and apparently Daniel feels it too. He kneels to be on Lily's eye level. "No, sweetie, it was never your fault. I was irresponsible, selfish. I was too busy chasing my own thrills to be a good dad. You didn't do anything wrong." Lily's eyes glisten. "You never came back, or called, or wrote." Daniel's voice breaks, "I know, and I regret it every day. That's why I'm here now, because I finally realized how messed up my choices were. I'm trying to fix my life step by step. I want you to know. I'm sorry." Tears threaten in my own eyes. Lily's shoulders tremble. She looks at me silently, seeking reassurance. I rest a hand on her back, letting her decide how to respond. Finally, she whispers, "It still hurts. I used to wonder if you were dead or something." She wipes her cheeks angrily. "I guess not." Daniel's face twists in shame. "I wish I could turn back time. All I can do is try to be better now." We sit quietly, the playground's distant chatter filling the gaps. My emotions swirl, pity for him, anger at the wasted years, gratitude that Lily can voice her hurt. But I also sense Lily's confusion, her cautious hope that maybe this father could actually be in her life. After a few moments, Lily sniffs, turning back to the gift bag. She pulls out a small card. Opening it, she reads silently. I peek over her shoulder. "For Lily, a sweet girl I should never have left behind." Scrawled in Daniel's handwriting, a tear slips down Lily's cheek. "Thank you," she says, clearing her throat. I guess we can talk sometimes if you want." Daniel exhales relief, mingling with sorrow in his eyes. "I'd like that, Lily. I'm in town for a few more days. Then I have to go back to where I live now. but I want to stay in touch. Video calls, letters, anything you're comfortable with? She nods. Okay. Her gaze drifts to me silently, asking if this is all right. I manage a small nod. I'm still reeling from the idea, but if Lily is open to it, I won't stand in her way. Daniel stands dusting off his knees. Maybe we can walk a bit. Talk more. He glances at me for permission. I swallow, standing too. Sure, together the three of us move down the path along the duck pond. Daniel points out a mother duck leading her ducklings. Lily smiles faintly at the sight. There's a fragile sense of normalcy in the air, as if we're just another family out for a stroll. Though we all know better. He asks Lily about her favorite subjects in school, her hobbies. She answers in monosyllables at first, but gradually opens up about her science project and how she loves animals. Daniel listens intently occasionally, asking follow-up questions. I walk beside them, a silent observer fighting the swirl of old resentments. Perhaps this moment is a small step forward or a ticking bomb. Only time will tell. After about half an hour, Lily glances at me. Mom, can we go get some ice cream? I understand the cue she needs a break. I nod, turning to Daniel. We're heading home now. Thank you for meeting us. He nods, searching my face. Thank you for giving me a chance. I hope we can do this again before I go. Lily shrugs. Maybe. She holds the plush dog close to her chest. We part ways in the parking lot. I watch Daniel walk away, shoulders hunched as if weighed down by regret. Lily is quiet as we head to my car. Once inside, she stares at the stuffed animal in her lap. You okay, sweetie? I ask gently. She takes a shaky breath. I think so. It's just weird. She looks up at me, eyes shining. Are we going to see him again? That's up to you, I say softly. And me too? We'll decide together. She nods. Okay. She leans her head on the seat, hugging the toy. Can we really get ice cream now? I manage a small laugh. Yes, absolutely. I start the car, mind churning with a mix of relief, sorrow, and reluctant hope. Daniel apologized all right, but the wounds run deep. As we drive off to find a sweet treat for Lily, I wonder if this is the start of a new chapter or a repeat of history. Only time and caution will tell. Back at home, Lily and I curl up on the couch, each of us lost in our thoughts. After the emotional weight of meeting Daniel, ice cream provided a brief burst of sweetness. But now the reality sets in again. Lily absently strokes the plush dog's ears, glancing at me every so often. Mom? She begins quietly. I shift to face her. Yeah, honey? She fiddles with the dog's collar. If Dad's sorry, do you think it means we can be a family again, like the three of us? My heart twinges. We already have a family. Lily, you and me. But if you mean living together like before, that's complicated. I pause, searching for words. People can apologize, but sometimes the damage is done. It's not always possible to go back to how things were. She nods slowly, eyes downcast. Okay. After a moment, she quietly says, I'm glad he said he was sorry, though. Even if it's too late, I hug her gently. Me too. I just want you to feel safe and happy, no matter what. She smiles faintly, then yawns. It's been a draining day for both of us. I guide her to her bedroom, tucking her in with an extra long goodnight hug, watching her drift off. I'm reminded how resilient children can be and how vulnerable. She's already learned a tough lesson about trust. In my own room, I toss and turn. Thoughts of Daniel swirl along with the memory of his earnest expression at the park. Could he truly be different now? Or is this just another wave of illusions he's so adept at spinning? At least Lily got a measure of closure from hearing him say, sorry. But for me, the apology reopens old wounds I thought had scarred over. The next day, Lily goes to school and I drag myself to work, forcing a smile for my colleagues. The mundane tasks of insurance forms almost soothe me, giving my brain a break from emotional turmoil. But around lunchtime, a bouquet of daisies arrives at the reception desk with a small note for Rebecca. Thank you for letting me see Lily, Daniel. My cheeks heat. I sense my coworkers glancing curiously. I quickly stash the flowers in a back room. This is too much. Why daisies of all flowers, the same kind he used to bring me in the early days of our marriage? Is this an attempt to rekindle old feelings, or simply gratitude? When I pick Lily up from school, I debate whether to tell her about the flowers. In the end, I decide it's best not to mention them yet. She's still adjusting to the idea that her father reappeared. No need to complicate things further with potential romantic undertones, so I keep it to myself, letting the daisies wilt in the office kitchen. That evening, Daniel texts asking if we could meet again, maybe dinner or a quick visit. I text back, still processing Lily needs time. I'll let you know, he replies. I understand I'll be here until Friday, then I have to go back home. Let me know if you change your mind. The next day passes much the same. Work pick Lily up, a text from Daniel. My heart is a battlefield. Half of me wants to keep my guard high. The other half wonders if I should give Lily another chance to talk to him before he leaves. On Thursday night, as Lily and I watch a sitcom rerun, she turns to me and asks, "Is Dad going away soon?" I nod. He's leaving tomorrow. He said he'd like to see you again, but I told him we weren't sure. Lily ponders this, pulling her knees to her chest. Maybe I could say goodbye, if that's okay. A pang hits me. Of course, sweetie, if that's what you want. I pause, measuring my next words. Just remember, we don't know when or if he'll come back. I don't want you to be disappointed. She exhales, shoulders slumping. Yeah, I know. I text Daniel telling him Lily is willing to see him briefly tomorrow evening. He sends back an immediate grateful message. Thank you. I promise to be respectful of your time. So Friday arrives carrying with it a mix of dread and cautious expectation. Lily has a half day at school, so by late afternoon, we're already home. She paces the living room, the plush dog from Daniel sitting on the couch. I fix us a simple snack, trying to calm her nerves and my own. At precisely 5 p.m., there's a knock on the door. Lily glances at me, eyes wide. I muster a reassuring smile, then open it. Daniel stands on the threshold, holding a small box in his hands. Hi, he says softly. Hi, I reply, stepping aside so he can enter. Lily hovers near the couch, her posture stiff. Daniel gives her a gentle smile. Hey, Lily. She nods in acknowledgement but doesn't smile back. Hi. We settle around the coffee table. The silence feels thick. Finally, Daniel holds out the box. I wanted to give you both something, but especially you. Lily, it's some pictures I found, old ones of us from when you were a baby. Lily glances at me, then slowly opens the box. Inside, there are a few photographs. One shows me in the hospital bed, newborn Lily in my arms, Daniel grinning at my side. Another is Lily's first birthday cake smeared on her cheeks. Lily studies them silently, her expression unreadable. Daniel clears his throat. I know I wasn't there for the later birthdays, but these are from the times I wanted you to have them. Lily's voice emerges trembling. Why now? He looks down at his hands, because I realized how much I lost and how important it is for you to know that even if I messed up, I did love you. I still do. Tears glaze Lily's eyes. She nods carefully, placing the photos back in the box. Daniel sighs, turning to me. Rebecca, I know I said this before, but I'm sorry. For everything, I can't repay the money I took from you right now. But I will if you let me, and I'd like to stay in touch with Lily. Video calls, letters. I want to prove that I'm not the same man. A swirl of conflicting emotions grips me. Part of me wants to bark that no, you can't fix 7 years of abandonment with words. But Lily's hopeful expression, the small tear in her eye, tugs at me. She wants her father in her life at least a little, and maybe he can be there from a distance if he truly means it. I glance at Lily, who meets my gaze. She gives a tiny nod as if urging me to try. I face Daniel throat tight. All right, but on my terms. You keep in contact regularly. No disappearing acts. If you fail, that's it. I won't let Lily be hurt again. Daniel's eyes flicker with gratitude. Thank you, he whispers. I promise. We talk a bit longer about logistical details. Daniel's address, phone number, how we might arrange calls. Lily listens, her expression guarded but calmer. Then he checks the time with a sigh. My flight is early tomorrow, I should go. Lily stands hugging the plush dog. Bye, she says softly. He hesitates, glancing at me for permission. I give a slight nod. Heart pounding, he steps forward, opening his arms. Lily tenses, then takes a shaky step into his embrace. She's small, dwarfed by his frame. The moment is brief, she quickly pulls away, tears on her cheeks. He blinks hard, stepping back. Take care, he says, voice wavering. I'll be in touch soon. And with that, he heads out the door. I rest a hand on Lily's shoulder. She's trembling slightly. You okay? I murmur. She nods, sniffing. I guess. That was intense. I pull her into a firm hug. I know, but you were brave. Later, after Lily's asleep, I sit alone in the living room. The pictures from Daniel spread across the coffee table. In them, we look so young, so certain of our future. I realize with a pang that I'm not that woman anymore. I've grown, forged a life with Lily. Maybe Daniel can walk his redemption path from afar. Maybe we can find a form of coexistence that doesn't tear us apart again. But deep down, I know even if we forgive, we never truly go back to who we were. And that's okay. Have you ever found yourself torn between protecting your heart and giving someone a second chance? How did you handle it? Share your experiences below. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss more touching stories like this one. 3 weeks pass without a word from Daniel. Despite my initial wariness, I catch myself checking my phone, occasionally wondering if his promise to keep in touch was empty. Lily seems to do the same every so often. She'll glance at my phone or the mailbox, eyes reflecting a mixture of hope and doubt. But then, on a sunny Saturday morning, Lily bursts into my bedroom, phone clutched in her hand. Mom, he texted. I blink awake, confusion giving way to realization. He texted Lily. She must have shared her new phone number with him. I sit up quickly. What'd he say? She holds out the screen. Hey, Lily, it's Dad. Just wanted you to know I made it home safely. I'm settling back in. Work is crazy, but I hope we can video chat soon. Love you. My heart tightens, so he's reaching out to her directly. Lily's eyes shine with cautious excitement. Should I reply? I nod, giving her a gentle smile. Yes, if you want. But remember, it's okay to take things slow. She taps away, sending a short reply. Over the next few days, small messages trickle in. Daniel asks about her day at school, her favorite foods, her upcoming summer break. Plans, Lily beams whenever a text arrives. Still, I sense her wariness, like she's bracing for him to vanish again. Meanwhile, I hear nothing from Daniel personally. No updates or apologies directed my way. I'm not sure if that's a relief or an insult. Either way, I throw myself into my routine work, taking Lily to soccer practice, planning our summer schedule. I refuse to revolve my life around Daniel's uncertain presence. One afternoon, Lily excitedly announces that Daniel wants to set up a video call. She asks if I can help her download some app I do. So heart-pounding, am I ready for him to see into our home through a camera lens? But for Lily's sake, I keep my concerns to myself. We pick a day and time. Saturday evening arrives and Lily sits at the living room table, phone propped up. I hover in the background, surreptitiously tidying up the area. The call comes in. Lily answers and Daniel's face appears on screen. He's seated in what looks like a small apartment, a plain wall behind him. He smiles hesitantly. Hey, Lily. Hi, she says, returning a shy smile. They chat about school, the weather, her plans for summer camp. I stand by the kitchen doorway, arms folded. Lily beckons me over. Dad wants to say hi to you, Mom. My stomach clenches. I move into view on the phone screen. Daniel raises a hand in a small wave. Hi, Rebecca. I force a polite nod. Hi. An awkward silence. Lily fidgets with a pencil on the table. Finally, Daniel attempts a friendly tone. How are you both? Everything okay? I measure my answer carefully. We're fine. Another pause. How's your job? He brightened slightly, launching into a brief explanation of his office position. I glean that he's doing administrative work at some logistics company. He claims it's stable, that he's budgeting carefully now. Lily listens, curiosity in her eyes. My own skepticism lingers. Daniel once told me many stories that turned out half true, but perhaps time changed him. After a few minutes, Lily steers the conversation back to her daily life, her new hamster, the book she's reading, her dream to visit a local nature reserve. Daniel nods, praising her interests, occasionally glancing my way as if seeking approval. I maintain a neutral expression, letting him talk to her. This is Lily's moment to connect with the father she never truly knew. When the call ends, Lily looks both energized and anxious, like she's just run a race. He said, he'll call again next week, she says, searching my face. Sounds good, I say softly, ruffling her hair. She nods, hugging me briefly before heading to her room. Once she's gone, my phone pings a text from Daniel. Thank you for letting me talk to her. I appreciate your patience. I stare at the words, fighting the conflicting emotions. Patience or resignation? In a burst of honesty, I type back, I'm only doing this for Lily's sake. If you break her trust again, don't expect me to be kind. His reply is instant. Understood, I won't. With that, I set my phone aside. The smell of dinner cooking in the oven mingles with the tension in the air. I sense a crossroads looming. If Daniel remains consistent, texts, calls, a stable presence, then Lily might finally get a father figure, albeit from afar. If he falters, she'll be crushed and I'll have to pick up the pieces again. The responsibility is huge. Days turn into weeks, and surprisingly, Daniel keeps calling Lily once a week. Sometimes they chat for 20 minutes, sometimes nearly an hour. Lily's laughter rings through the house, occasionally sprinkled with exasperated dad. That's silly remarks. I stand a distance away, never fully joining in, still haunted by caution. But I admit, seeing Lily's eyes light up is a relief. If Daniel can give her some measure of fatherly affection, now maybe it's worth the risk. Summer break arrives. Lily begs me to let her see Daniel in person again. She mentions how he offered to pay for her plane ticket to visit him. My protective instincts scream, no. But Lily's hopeful gaze tugs at me. The idea of letting her travel alone to a father she barely knows is terrifying. I compromise, telling her I'd consider letting Daniel come visit here if he wants. That way, I remain in control. She relays the message to Daniel. He texts me respectfully, asking if I'm open to him flying back. I'll stay in a hotel, he writes. I just want to spend some time with Lily, maybe a weekend, if that's okay. My heart hammers. Another meeting, more face-to-face contact. Is it too soon? But Lily's grown fond of these calls. She's begun telling me small anecdotes about Daniel's sense of humor, how he jokes about learning to cook real meals. She calls him Dad with less hesitation. Could it be beneficial for them to spend time in person? In the end, I agree with conditions. Lily remains under my watch and Daniel respects our boundaries. He wholeheartedly accepts. My mind spins with possibilities, dread of potential heartbreak, hope for Lily's sake. One thing is certain, I'm not the same woman Daniel left behind. I'm stronger, more guarded, but also open to the idea that sometimes people can grow. Daniel arrives late on a Friday afternoon, stepping off the plane into the summer heat. Lily and I wait at baggage claim, me scanning the crowd with anxious eyes. When he appears wearing a simple polo shirt and jeans, Lily bounces on her toes, half excited, half nervous. I offer a polite nod, my posture stiff. Hey, he greets, glancing between the two of us. Lily gives him a tentative smile. Hi, Dad, she says quietly. The word dad still sounds foreign on her tongue, but a flicker of joy lights Daniel's face at hearing it. Thanks for picking me up, he says to me, shoving his hands into his pockets. I've got a hotel booked. Just need a ride there. I nod. We can drop you off. Then maybe we can grab dinner together if Lily wants. Lily's eyes dart to me. She nods. Yeah, can we get pizza? Daniel smiles, relieved. Pizza sounds great. We navigate to the car, Daniel lugging his carry-on. Lily climbs into the back seat, leaving the passenger side for him. The short drive to his hotel is filled with stilted small talk. Weather, flight delays, how busy the airport is. I sense Lily absorbing every syllable, trying to figure out if this is real. At the hotel, Daniel checks in quickly. Then we head to a nearby pizza place. It's a family-friendly joint with plastic red booths and the scent of fresh dough in the air. We settle into a booth, Lily between us. Daniel gazes at the menu, then glances at Lily. Pick anything you like, he says softly. She chooses a half pepperoni, half cheese pizza with extra mushrooms. My preference? The server takes our order and disappears. We sip sodas in tense silence. Finally, Daniel musters a calm, fatherly tone. So, Lily, how's summer so far? Doing anything fun? She nods, swirling her straw in her drink. I'm going to day camp next week, archery craft swimming. A hint of excitement blooms in her voice. And Mom might take me to the state fair if she gets time off work. Daniel glances at me, an awkward smile on his face. That sounds nice. I haven't been to a fair in ages. I maintain polite neutrality. We do it every summer if we can. Silence again, broken only by the clatter of dishes in the background. Lily pipes up. Dad, do you like sports? I joined a soccer team. He nods, seizing the chance to connect. I used to love soccer in high school. Maybe I could come watch a game if you're okay with it. Lily's eyes flick to me. I offer a small shrug. She looks back at Daniel. That'd be cool, she says softly. The pizza arrives steaming and piled with melted cheese. We dig in, small conversation sparks flickering. Daniel asks about Lily's hamster. Lily tells him its name is Sprinkle. I chime in about work occasionally, but mostly I watch them. She's hesitant, but there's a genuine curiosity in her eyes. Daniel's posture is relaxed yet careful, as though he's walking on eggshells. Maybe that's a good sign he knows how easily trust can shatter. After dinner, we drop Daniel off at the hotel. Lily waves goodbye, hugging the plush dog Daniel gave her at the park weeks ago. He glances at me, voice low. Thank you, Rebecca, for letting me do this. I appreciate it. I nod, not quite smiling. We'll see you tomorrow. Lily mentioned she wants to show you the park near our house. He nods. I'd love that. Good night. We drive home in silence. Lily stares out of the window, cradling the stuffed dog. Once inside, she asks if she can watch TV for a bit. I agree, mind whirring with conflicting feelings. On one hand, Daniel seems sincere, stable even. On the other, the memory of his betrayal nags me, like a splinter under the skin. Saturday dawns warm and bright. After breakfast, we meet Daniel at the local park. Lily shows him her favorite spots. The big oak tree she likes to climb, the pond full of turtles. The trail that leads to a small clearing. He listens attentively, taking pictures with his phone. They skip stones across the pond, Lily giggling when Daniel's stone plunks right in. I watch from a bench, arms crossed, heart twisting. This is what Lily's childhood could have been if Daniel had stayed, if he hadn't shattered our family. But I remind myself I'm stronger now, and Lily's grown up resilient. It's pointless to dwell on what might have been. At lunch, Daniel tries to pay, but I insist on covering Lily's meal. It's a small boundary. He hesitates, then relents. In the afternoon, Lily wants to show him her hamster, so we head home. This is the first time Daniel set foot in my house since he abandoned us. I feel tension coil in my stomach. He glances around, noticing the modest furniture, Lily's school artwork taped to the walls, family photos that don't include him. An unspoken ache hovers in the air. Lily leads him to her room, chattering about the hamster's cage. I let them be heading to the kitchen to brew coffee. The sound of Lily's laughter floats down the hallway. For a moment, I close my eyes, letting the warmth of her happiness wash over me. Maybe this weekend won't end in heartbreak. A few minutes later, Daniel emerges, hands in his pockets. She's adorable, he says, referring to the hamster. And Lily's so bright. My lips tilt in a half smile. She is? She worked hard to be where she is. She overcame a lot. He looks down. I know I'm sorry. I wasn't there for her. I nod, offering him a coffee mug. Apologies are words. Actions matter more. The statement comes out harsher than intended, but I don't regret it. Daniel meets my gaze, something like acceptance in his eyes. Yes, he says quietly. You're right. We drink coffee in wary silence. Lily reappears, hamster in hand, beaming. The tension softens. We spend the afternoon chatting about safe topics, pets, Lily's plans for day camp. Each moment feels both ordinary and monumental, a family dynamic that's familiar yet alien. In the back of my mind, I remain vigilant, reminding myself not to let illusions cloud reality. Daniel's apology may be heartfelt, but forgiveness and trust are earned, not given. Daniel's weekend visit draws to a close with a Sunday picnic at the lakeside. The sky is a brilliant blue, and Lily races ahead to find a spot by the water. He and I walk behind her hamper of sandwiches swinging between us. We barely speak. There's a hesitant civility, as if neither of us wants to stir old ghosts, now that Lily has found some measure of joy. When we reach a shady patch of grass, Lily spreads out a blanket, humming a tune. We eat turkey sandwiches, crunchy chips, fresh strawberries. Lily talks about her upcoming day camp, and Daniel listens with rapt attention, occasionally asking thoughtful questions. It's almost surreal, like a snapshot of normal family life, except for the undercurrent of tension we both feel. After lunch, Lily wanders off to skip stones at the water's edge, leaving Daniel and me alone on the blanket. A breeze rustles the tall grasses. He clears his throat. I'm leaving this evening. I want to. Thank you for allowing me to spend time with Lily. It means a lot. I study him, noticing lines on his face that speak of regret and aging. She's happy to get to know you, but you understand this is just the beginning, right? She needs consistency. You can't vanish for months. He nods vigorously. I know I'm committed to calling her every week. I'm saving up money to possibly visit again in a few months. A swirl of cautious hope stirs in my chest. She's the priority, as long as you keep that in mind. He exhales, Rebecca. I also wanted to talk to you about us. I don't want you to feel like I'm ignoring the damage I caused. I'd like to repay some of the debts. I've been working with an advisor to manage my finances. I can start sending you monthly installments. His offer startles me, stirring old wounds. You owed me a lot, Daniel. Not just money, but paying it back would be a start. He nods, expression grave. I understand. I'll do what I can. He hesitates, then adds softly, I know I can't fix everything, especially not what I did to your heart, but I am sorry, truly. A wave of emotions floods me. Anger, pain, a flicker of compassion. I take a breath, forcing my voice steady. I used to beg for your apology, your love. For years, I thought if you'd just say sorry, we could fix things. But after you left, I learned how to stand on my own. I'm not that desperate woman anymore. He winces but doesn't shy away. I see that. And you're stronger now. I respect it, I nod, letting the breeze carry away a bit of tension. I won't pretend we can go back to how it was, and I'm not certain about any future beyond Lily's well-being. But your apology, it does help in its own way. We lapse into silence watching Lily toss pebbles into the lake. Eventually, she returns a bright smile on her face, oblivious to the intensity that just passed between us. Mom, Dad, look at the huge stone I found. She brandishes a palm-sized rock with a swirl pattern. We admire it. Then Daniel checks his watch. I have to head to the airport soon, he says softly, looking at Lily. I wish I could stay longer. Her smile fades. When will you come back? He shrugs apologetically. Not sure exactly, but I'll call. Okay, and we'll plan it out. Lily's eyes glimmer with unshed tears, but she nods bravely. Okay. We pack up the picnic. The drive to the airport is solemn. Lily clutches the stone she found, occasionally casting Daniel's sidelong glances. I pull up to the departure curb, and we step out onto the sidewalk. The rumble of idling cars and the echo of announcements overhead fill the air. Daniel lifts his bag from the trunk, then turns to Lily. She sets the stone aside and flings her arms around him. His eyes brim with emotion as he hugs her tightly, whispering something I don't catch. After a moment, Lily pulls away, tears sliding down her cheeks. Daniel ruffles her hair gently. Then he looks at me. Thank you, he says, for letting me be part of Lily's life again. I won't let her down. I swallow, arms crossing, I hope not. Good luck, Daniel. He dips his head in a slight nod, then with a final wave, he disappears through the glass doors. Lily stands by my side, sniffling. I wrap an arm around her shoulders. It's okay, sweetie, I murmur, guiding her back to the car. On the drive home, the tension slowly dissolves into quiet reflection. Lily rests her head on the window, hugging that swirl-patterned stone. I let my thoughts drift. Daniel apologized, spent time with Lily, and left again, but this time with a promise to return and repay. And strangely, I feel lighter. Not because I fully trust him or think we'll be a happy family, but because his apology, his presence, and the chance to confront the past have shown me something. I truly am no longer that broken woman he once abandoned. Later at home, Lily dozes off for a short nap, emotionally drained. I sit by the living room window, gazing at the summer sky. My phone buzzes a text from Daniel. Just boarded, love you both. We'll call soon, I consider my response. In the end, I type a simple, safe flight. Then I switch off the phone, setting it aside. My heart feels calm yet tender. He's apologized. He's starting to make amends. Lily got a piece of the father she's long imagined. And me, I've confronted the ghost of my past, discovering that I've rebuilt myself stronger than before. Sometimes apologies come too late to fix everything, but they can still mend parts of our fractured selves enough to help us move on, free from the shackles of resentment. I smile softly, brushing away a stray tear. Tomorrow, life continues, my job. Lily's day camp, the bills, the routines. But with a lighter heart, I can embrace each new day, knowing that I survived betrayal and emerged transformed. I'm not who I was, and that in itself is a victory. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed the story, feel free to subscribe for more gentle, heartfelt moments.